Welcome to my channel. My name is Budgets with Elma, and today we are going to do my budget with me. So, in a previous video, I have shown you my bills calendar. Before today, I'm going to show you the money moves I make when doing my budget, what expenses we're going to take care of, and how much I will be cash stuffing in my everyday wallet. All right. So, as you can see, I have the Budget by Paycheck workbook by the Budget Mom. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. And what we're going to do real quick is we're going to go over the expenses for Paycheck 1, and then we're going to dive into Paycheck 2. All right, so I'm opening it up, and this is my template here. We'll go over it in just a second, but for now, let me just open up the calendar, and hopefully you can see everything in view. I'll push a couple of things back. All right, so as you can see, this is the spread for the month. And I'm going to work on the key ones that we are going to focus on. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and put in the expenses that's already been paid for paycheck number 1 before we dive into the next paycheck. So I'm going to move this slightly over. You won't see the full calendar, but I'll talk over what we're going to cover. So the expense of the mortgage has already been taken care of. I don't have the amount there, but I want to specify that it has been taken care of. The next one I have is electric. I had budgeted it would be $160. It ended up being $147.82 of 52, excuse me. And so that one has been taken care of. The next expense is the trash and water. I budgeted $209. It ended up being $208.06, and that is the amount that it actually was. So it was less than what was budgeted for. The next one is the AT&T. The AT&T ended up being $72.75. So I budgeted less than what it actually was. All right. So it was an increase of $2.75 more than what I budgeted for. And then we have in here, we have the Disney Plus and the other subscriptions that I have. And that ended up being $22.07 for those subscriptions instead of the 25. All right. And so now we're going to jump into the paycheck that I got paid on the 15th, which is today. So I'm going to let you know what expenses we covered and what was taken care of. Okay. And again, this is my bills calendar, and I do it every month to keep on track with my expenses. All right. So now that we know that, I'm going to go ahead and show you a template that I have that is a freebie. And instead of using the budget by paycheck actual budget sheet, I'm going to show you one that I've created. It is in my shop, and it is there for you if you need to do your budget, right? And so it is free. You giving me your valuable time to watch my channel, click on that button. I have created these for you to use in your budgeting journey. Now, if you're doing it, of course, digitally, you could just save it on your device, depending on what device you're using, and you could just use it on your device. But if you need to print it, it is there, and I have them in multiple colors. This template is in my Ko-fi shop. And as you can see here, it says budget planner sheet. It has your income, budgeted versus budgeted, and actual. Excuse me, my daughter's getting my attention. If you see me just hesitate there. And then it gives you the total. And then I have fixed expenses, budgeted, and actual for that category. And then I have variable expenses. I have debt and other expenses. And then here I have sinking funds and saving challenges. And then at the bottom, I'll show you just a little bit here. It has the total of what you brought in, the total you reallocated, or where did your money go, and then you zeroing out your account, giving every money you have a job. Doesn't mean you spend it, but you give it a job and it has a place, right? And so this is the template that I have. It is a freebie in my shop. I will link it in the description below. I'll also have it in the community post so you can grab what you need. All right. Now, let's go ahead into the budget, because again, I've already pre-written it, and I wanted to use my template to show you how it looks and how I have it set up. All right. So this is it here, and I hope you can see everything in frame. Now, I typically pull out $1,600. And when I mean pull out, I don't necessarily pull it out in the bank, but I do specify $1,600. And that is all after all the deductions from work, medical, dental, vision, 401k, anything you can think of, they all come out, and I take a little bit out for ties. After that, I leave $1,600 to do my budget every time I do a budget. All right. My husband gave me $850 to go into the budget, and I'll show you how that comes in and how it goes out because it has a job. Okay. I'll show you what I do with that. So when I total everything, the amount that I have to budget for is $2,450 in this time around. All right. The expenses that I currently have is the following. I have Canva, which is $13. I have my cell phone for $26. I have my HOA, half of the fee. It is $300. It has increased. All right. So instead of doing the full $300, I like to split that among different paychecks, and that is $150. I have my coffee membership for my shop, $8. I have my Amazon Prime account on Amazon, okay, and I pay $8, and that based on, they have different criteria where you get a discount, and I fall into one of the ones that they have, so I only pay $8 every month, or I can pay that in yearly. And then I have my Apple storage, and that's for my kids for all their Apple devices. I have here aftercare because my daughter is in aftercare, and so this is her last payment. Thank you, God. Okay, because this can add up. And so it's the 180. And then we have our car insurance, which is the semi amount, which means we pay it every 6 months. And that is for the 660. So as I showed you, my husband gave me this amount here, and that covered these two here. All right. The aftercare and the 6-month car insurance payment. And so that is where that comes in. All right. And so when I totaled everything, it gave me $1,153 to work with. So I'll just have my calculator here as we are doing it. So I have 2,450. I minus 1,153 for fixed expense totals, and that gives me 1,297, which is what I wrote here. And then right here, I have my everyday wallet categories. And these categories, I choose them, and you choose them as well when you are doing your budget. And I'll pull it up just a little bit higher so it can show in frame. I hope you can see it okay, kings and queens. All right, and these are the actual categories in my everyday wallet. All right, so that is gas, kids, groceries, personal, eating out, and laundry. And I have one other category that I did not add because I won't be cash stuffing it in today's video. Now, what I budgeted, because life is getting expensive out here in the streets, right? I mean, I'm just saying, I don't live on the streets, but you get the phrase, right? And so gas is like an arm and a leg. So because it is, okay, instead of budgeting $60 like I typically do, I am running out of gas before my next paycheck every time now, right? Because gas is so high and what I'm budgeting is not enough for the gas. So I now change from $60 to $100, which means I'll be putting $50 every 2 weeks, or not every 2 weeks, excuse me, every week, because the gas is not even lasting me 2 weeks anymore, okay? So I do $50 one week, $50 the next week, and if it's still not enough, that is what it is until I get paid again, okay? So I am budgeting $100 in this paycheck to cover that. For kids, I put $30 in their envelope, and whenever I pick them up after school, or my daughter after care, or my son at the bus stop, if they need to get anything after school or before school, anything like that, I'll always have that there for them. So it'll be like a little something if need be. If they don't use it, I will roll it over into some saving challenges. The next one is groceries. I am budgeting $250 for this. And then for personal, I am budgeting $40. For eating out, I am budgeting $60. For laundry, I am budgeting $20. And so that is a total of $500. So from the $1,297, I'm going to minus the $500. That gives me $797, just how I already have it written here. Again, I've already did the budget, but I want to just show you what I decided to do. The next section is debt and other expenses. The debt I have is for $75, okay, which is $175. And then I have a toll fee for $25. And then I have YouTube memberships that I support some channels of being part of their memberships, whether again on YouTube or on Ko-Fi. And so right here, I have that totaled up, and that is $200. So I'm going to minus the $200 from what I have here, and that gives me $597. Okay, so I guess this one was supposed to be a 9. There we go. All right, and that is what I have remaining. So now for this category, I have my catch-all challenges, all right, which you'll see me do throughout the month. And then I have my saving mini challenge in Tiny's. I am budgeting $100 for my catch-all videos whenever I do them. And then I will be budgeting for minis and tinies, $100. And then for my other challenges for the following week, my Faith and Finance mini and tinies, I'm budgeting another $100. All right, which gives me $300 of budgeted amount for saving challenges. So I'm going to minus it from the from the 597, the 300, and it'll give me my buffer amount, letting me know what's remaining, so that way I can zero out my account every time, okay? Which means your budget will change here and there. So this amount will always change. You won't always have the same leftover depending on your expenses. So that's why I always leave this amount blank. And then once I know this amount, it will be what will remain in my bill account, just in case my fixed expenses are more than what I budgeted. And if they're not, or they're less, I'll have more to go into the bills account, and that will just remain there when needed. Or let's say I have a bill due ahead of time before my pay period, I can always pull that to take care of that expense, or whatever remains, I'll leave it for the mortgage and my husband will pay the remainder, okay? And that's just how we do it. So we're always paying our mortgage at the beginning of the month in each pay period, because we save every 2 paychecks doing the split method, the paycheck previous, okay? Hope you understood that. So with $597, I'm gonna minus the $300 of what I am budgeting for saving challenges. And that gives me $297. So that is what the buffer amount will be, all right? So this will remain in the bank, all right? And then when I minus everything out, wait, this makes this section, let's see, 597 plus 3. That gives me 597, I believe. Yes. So now what I'm going to do, I budgeted $2,450. I was about to say 240. So let's close out the budget. So we have 2,450. All right. We have the expense here. All right, that gives us that amount. We're going to minus the variable. Okay, we're going to minus the other debt or other expenses. All right, and then we are going to, oh, wait a minute, this changed again. All right, so I'm not sure if this is a 7 or a 9 here. Okay, so that's fine. All right, and then we're going to minus 300. So this one should have been 77. Okay. All right, so I just do it like that, guys. And then when I minus 277, which is the buffer amount, it zero outs the account, okay? So this one should have been a 7 instead of a 9, okay? I must have clicked on the calculator when doing that portion here. So this has been zeroed out. So 2,450 is income, 2,450 was expenses, or everything had a job, equals zeroing out. Okay, there you have it. So now let's go ahead and cash up my everyday wallet, and that will be that. All right, and by the way, let me know when you are doing your budget, kings and queens. Do you budget once a week, bi-weekly, which is every 2 weeks, or do you budget semi-monthly, which means on the 1st and the 15th, or do you budget and cash stuff once a month? All right, let me know, how does it go when it comes to your budgeting and cash stuffing? And if you don't cash stuff actual cash, when do you, I guess, transfer over your money when it comes to cash stuffing, which means you're cashless, okay? You do it digitally. Let me know that. And let me know, what is your preference, right? Do you cash stuff, physical cash, or do you just keep it in your bank and do it digitally? All right. So let me go ahead and put the money where it needs to go. This is my cash tray, and this cute money bag has been given to me by Cash Budget Flow. No, I believe her channel name is Cash Stuff Co. There you go. Say that 3 times, okay? Cash Stuffing Co. There you go. And it was something she sent me in the Happy Mail. And this is what I'm actually cash stuffing in today's video. I am doing 500, and I already have it broken down in the Budget by Paycheck cute little slip that I have here from the Budget Mom. So I'm going to put it to the side, and we have the funds here. So this is the 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 300, okay, 340, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So that is 4. So we have 4 in total. That made it 5. And then we have 20. Okay. So let me go ahead and put everything where it needs to go. All right. Everything is here. Just making sure there's no 5s, 10s, or anything in between one another. And we have some 10s. I made sure my daughter got the right amount, and she did okay. And that's my oldest. And I hope everything, you can see it. And I should have another 10. There we go. All right. So this is the money that I will be cash stuffing. This is a total of $500. Again, I have 12 5s. I have 2 10s, 16 20s, and 2 50s. All right. So for gas, I am budgeting for gas $100. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these 2 50s to equal just that. And yes, I'm going to put gas tomorrow, okay? Because your girl got paid today. If you see that, I'm excited. All right, because today is Friday, and I hope you had a good TGIF. And let me know if you got paid this Friday. If you did, put a red heart emoji. If you're getting paid the next following week, you're going to put a yellow heart emoji to represent just that, okay? So for gas, $100 went in there, and I'll be putting gas tomorrow. All right, for kids, like I said, I am putting a total of $30 for them. And I'm going to do that by 5s because, again, they just go to the gas station or Wawa or whatever gas station that's near and grab a little something, something. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And there we go. And again, that's if they need to get anything. If they don't, it just remains in here. If they have something that pops up for school and it's within this amount, I'll grab it from here too. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. All right. The next thing is for groceries. For groceries, I am doing 250. So we're going to do 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200. And we're doing 2 20s to make it 40 and grabbing a 10 to make it 50. So that's 250. And we're going to go grocery shopping tomorrow, okay? And I usually give my son $50 for grocery shopping so he can buy specifically what he likes. He's into nutrition. He's in high school, and there's a couple of things he eats that we don't eat, okay? So he's going to buy what he needs, and I always budget $50 for him to do. And then 20, I give him 2 20s and a 10 for him to shop. And then the rest of the 200, I grocery shop. And if we need more groceries, my husband pays for the difference, okay? Always. So this is just what I budget from within my budget. And then my husband chips in if we need more, okay? For personal, I am doing 40. So I'm going to grab 2 20s. And again, if I go to a store and they don't take cash or their system is down, or I'm putting gas and they prefer cash or card, I'll use my card. Okay, there's no difference. But I do budget, for gas in the envelope. But again, it all depends at the gas station. For toiletries, we're not putting anything this time around. For eating out, I am budgeting for eating out, let's see, 60. So we're going to do 2 20s. And let's see. Like that. And if I'm missing an extra 20, it may have gone to groceries. So let me double check. Let's see what I didn't get. All right. And lastly is laundry. And I do go to a public laundromat to do my washing. And then we dry at home since our washing machine is having an issue. Okay. So that's in the budget to get a brand new one. Okay. Now, there you have it. Me cash stuffing, doing my budget with me, doing a budgeted versus actual for paycheck number 1.